Sit down. Can I offer you a drink?
I'd much rather you got to the point.
Well, it's not very easy.
Frank Blakey's not finding it very easy either. But you've not brought me here to talk about him, have you?
Well, I can't see what business it would be of yours.
Well, I won't bother to explain. What do you want?
I saw Laura in London. She was staying in the flat of a friend of yours. She was not very happy.
Been her state for some time, hasn't it?
Well, it's not easy to make people happy, especially when they don't know what they want themselves. But Laura's happiness does mean something to me, rather more than I really care to admit, which is why I'm appealing to you. She's talking of getting a job, working at something.
That would be a blot on the escutcheon, wouldn't it?
It would be the first stage towards a lonely old age, which is something that I'm nearer appreciating than you are. The saddest thing about the young is that they can never accept that age comes more quickly than they think it will. You want Laura to end her days a dried-up, disappointed stick of a woman in some Bournemouth hotel?
So she does mean something to you?
Of course she does.
Well, tell her, not me.
Do you think I haven't tried? Take her away, Sugden. It's what she wants you to do. Oh, you needn't worry that you'll be stuck with her for life, because it won't last. I know her. In 12 months she'll be tired of you.
And come crawling back home to Georgie?
Not at once, but eventually she will.
Do you want her as a kind of pet lamb or something?
I don't want her unhappy.
Then give her a divorce. That's what she wants. Before you start sorting out other people's lives, it's a good idea to get your own sorted out first. You don't like being crossed. You like your own way. Frank Blakey's evidence enough of that.
I'm willing to help Blakey all I can.
I bet. At a price. Just as you're willing to pay a price to keep Laura tied to you. But think on. A woman can be just as dried up and disappointed, tied in splendour to a man she doesn't want, as any divorcee sweating out her life in a Bournemouth hotel.
That Mr. Wilkes didn't seem in a hurry to leave.
No.
Seems to like chatting to you.
He's lonely, I think.
Oh, I dare say. Getting to know him quite well, aren't you?
Part of a barmaid's job to listen to customers.
Oh, customers, but not just one of them.
Rather I didn't speak to him.
No, but don't forget t'others. What's he talk about, anyway?
Food, mostly. You know, I think it would help business if we had some on the bar. Rolls and sandwiches and things.
Never been any call for it.
Because it wasn't there. If it was, we'd sell it. You know, I could easily get some rolls. Ham, cheese, hot sausages, shepherd's pie even.
Hey, hold on. We're not running a cafe.
Mr. Braley, can I tell you something? I mean, can I be honest with you?
I hope you'll always be honest with everybody.
I'm not talking about stealing.
Oh, I know that. I didn't mean...
Yes, you did, Mr. Braley. And I don't blame you. I've been in jail for shoplifting, stealing, and I can't expect you to forget that easily. And I'm very grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to work here.
Oh, well, we all make mistakes sometimes. Nobody's perfect.
Well, lying is a kind of dishonesty. Saying one thing and pretending you meant another.
Quite right. That's why I don't like politicians. Liars, every one of them.
Well, I don't suppose people would like it if they always spoke their minds.
Tell the truth and shame devil. People think more of you in long run.
Well, then, you won't mind if I tell you I think you're old-fashioned.
What you talking about?
Well, you did say you wouldn't mind.
I don't mind. Come to think of it, I'm glad I'm old-fashioned. All this modern sex and stuff. I don't want any part of that.
I meant the way you run this pub is old-fashioned.
I think I've been long enough in trade to know how to run a licensed house in a decent and respectable manner.
Yes, but how about profitably?
I wouldn't still be here if house didn't pay its way.
Yes, but the house isn't finished yet. There's the back to do and the hotel extension. You know, it's quite a capital investment the brewery are making here, Mr. Braley. Profits from beer were all well enough when this was nothing but a drinking house. But it won't do for the future, will it? You think about it. You'll see I'm right.
It's just on 120 feet. Oh, it's not the proper sort of land for pigs, you know.
It won't be on land. It'll be on concrete. I want a stake 30 feet up there from that marker.
No one's ever made a go of pigs round here.
Tried 4 along edges. None showed water.
Good.
Could have told you that anyway. Any farmer would know. Where this land is, it wouldn't hold on to water. Ditch below.
No harm in making sure.
Well, surveyor's job, really.
If we go ahead, the job will be done properly. I just want to be sure of the facts I put before the meeting tonight.
Pigs have never gone in dales, you know.
So everybody keeps telling me.
Well, they're telling truth.
And why haven't they gone, as you call it?
It's simple, isn't it? Difficult feeding. No cereals grown hereabouts. Too far from towns to make swill from factory canteens worth getting.
Ah, you won't have to give 'em milk to fall back on either.
That sort of pig farming went out with the ark. If you took the trouble to read the farming papers as I have, you'd know that.
Been a bit sour lately, isn't he?
Oh, it's just his way. Wouldn't hurt to fly underneath.
Not personally, maybe. Hate to be in his way over a business matter. Run over you like a steamroller, I reckon.
The way he's going on over this, he's going to have Jack up in front of him.
Am I disturbing you?
I was waiting for you to come down. If you want a divorce, you can have it.
Thank you.
Don't you want to know what made me change my mind?
No? Can I get you a drink?
Please. Thank you.
I'm sorry our marriage hasn't been happy.
I've been thinking about my life, trying to work out where it went wrong. You've told me more than once that you found me cold. Emotionally, I suppose you mean. Well, I don't think I can help that. The ability to get physically excited is something that one's born with.
I've never blamed you.
I'm not assigning blame. I'm trying to assess the facts. You're a beautiful woman. You excite in me what desire I have. Certainly, I've never felt the same about any other woman, so I can truthfully say that I have given you all the love I was capable of. Clearly, it wasn't enough.
I don't think this kind of analysis helps. It was just as much my fault.
A woman born strong is no more deserving of credit for her strength than a man born weak deserves blame for his weakness. And if you apply the logic of that to what humans call love, then it reduces love to selfishness. Thou shalt satisfy me physically, or I cannot love thee.
Oh, it's not as simple as that.
No, it never is. One thing the human race is never short of is an excuse. In my marriage, I see my life. It lacked nothing at the start, but material wealth and goodwill couldn't hide for long the fundamental unease of the alliance. Marriage has disappointed you. Life has disappointed me. And why? Because I was raised with a sense of honor and obligation and duty. Old-fashioned precepts that died with my youth. I still mourn their passing because they gave some meaning to life. And because, not least, they would have made you even more beautiful and more desirable than you already are. To your freedom, then. I hope it makes you happy.
Looks very good and very proper. Like to see things done right.
Well, I just thought we might need them.
And we will. Right, come on then, everybody. Let's get sat down.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, love.
Leave him, Peggy. He'd rather. Well, he ought to be here. He knows more about farming than any of us.
When the meeting gets underway, I'm going to move that he be asked to join the board as advisor. Got to do things the right way.
What are you going to invite me as?
Tea boy.
Tea? Oh, managing director ought to have whiskey. I wouldn't mind serving that.
Hush, Dad.
Now then, let's have a bit of order. Oh, good. Now we're all here.
Apologies for lateness. I was delayed at the Woolpack. By the barmaid's chit-chat and the quality of the beer.
There's a number of minor matters to discuss. We'll get those out of the way as quickly as possible so we can concentrate on the main business of the meeting, which is the introduction of pigs onto the farm.
Ah, pigs, good. I like pigs. Very intelligent animals, pigs.
Right, good. And that's settled. Now, you'll see I've set out a paper on my proposals for pig farming. I know there's a traditional antipathy to pig farming in the Dales, and I've heard various objections.
Nobody's ever made a go of pigs hereabouts.
Dad.
All right. I'm only warning you, I won't say another word.
But I've been in touch with the Meat and Livestock Commission, and I've read a lot of literature on the subject, and I'm convinced from both sources that pig farming has a great future. Now, you'll see from the paper that my initial proposal is a modest one. 30 breeding sows producing about 16 bacon pigs a year each.
What you're proposing is factory farming.
You can call it that, yes.
I'm calling it what it is. We want nothing to do with it.
Who's we?
Us. All of us. We're a farming family, not one of your automated production line proprietors.
You're only entitled to speak for yourself, Jack.
All right. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not having this farm turned into a factory.
The board will decide that by a vote.
Ah, that's the way it should be. So it's up to you to convince us it's not a paying proposition.
Paying proposition or not, I'm not having pigs grown on slats simply to make a profit. For him, or you, or anyone else. You should be ashamed even to think of it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about cruelty, something you
That's emotional claptrap.
What do you know about emotion? The only thing you're likely to get worked up about is your bank balance.
Jack!
Well, what does he know about farming animals? He set up a production line to recycle his acids, killed all the fish in the river and made one fortune. Now it's
That was an accident. And I restocked the river.
Only because public opinion forced you to.
That's a damn lie.
Is it hell? You cared about as much for the fish in the river as you do for pigs.
That's enough, Jack.
All right. But his proposal's out. Understand, I'm not having Emmerdale Farm turned into a factory.
That's for us to decide. You had your chance to run the farm and you turned it down. It's our farm now, not yours.
I see. Well, sort it out among yourselves. But don't imagine I'll make it easy for you.
Right, Henry. Let's hear what you have to say.
It'll be no trouble. I can get some rolls in the morning.
Where from? No one in Beckendale sells rolls as I know of.
Well, then I can get some in Houghton.
How? There's no bus. Just make it sandwiches. It's all bread after all.
Well, rolls are more tempting. We can have some sandwiches, but they don't sell as well as rolls.
We can't get 'em. It has to be sandwiches.
Must be a baker's van calls at the shop, surely.
Aye, and at some at houses
Well,
too.
he's bound to sell rolls. What time does he get to the shop?
Oh, I've seen him there about 9.
Well, I'll catch him there then. I'll get some glasses in. You don't look very happy tonight.
I'll survive.
I've been trying to get a copy of your book, but no one round here seems to have one.
It's not a very booky area.
There's a travelling library, but I'm working when it calls.
Is this your way of asking me for a copy?
Well, only a loan.
Why do you want to read it?
You're the first author I've ever met. It's interesting.
Can you get me another?
How about the book?
Well, if you care to walk with me up to the mill, where I live.
Yes, I know. It looks lovely.
Didn't inside, but it will be eventually.
I'm sure you have exquisite taste.
Yes, I have. But about the book, if you come up to the mill, I'll give you a copy.
Oh, when shall I come?
It's closing time in 10 minutes. How about then?
All right. But wait outside.
Are you responsible for this?
Well, it's true enough.
I approached you to shoe the Hunt's horses and you refused. That's true. I am a director of East Pennine Investments, which controls Dale Properties, which owns this property. That also is true. But that the two things are in any way connected is completely and utterly untrue.
It doesn't say here that they are connected.
Well, the implication's there. Can you deny that?
No, I can't. And quite frankly, I don't see how you can mention the two items without them looking as if they're connected. I thought they were.
So you told the press in order to bring pressure on me, is that it?
No, I didn't. I don't fight that way.
Blakey, it's as well I believe you. If I didn't, I'd give you a damn good thrashing.
Did you know he was a director of Dale Properties?
He didn't say anything when I asked him to help Frank Blakey. But, well, it was rather odd. First he said he could do nothing, and then he said he would. But he never mentioned that his company, well, one of his companies owned the forge, but that... Wilkes.
What?
Wilkes. He said he was going to Leeds to check on Dale Properties. In fact, his exact words were, "I haven't done with it yet."
You mean he's responsible for this?
Well, we mustn't jump to conclusions, but he was certainly very angry with Verney. And he said he had...
I'm just off.
Oh, it's early, isn't it?
We're starting food at the pub today. Going to try and catch the baker's van. If I don't get what I want, I'll telephone.
Oh, before 10:15.
Right. Bye.
Bye. What was all that about?
Bread rolls. If she doesn't get any, I'm going to bring some back from Houghton for her.
Oh. She was rather late last night. I wonder where she got to.
Jack Sugden. She told me.
Oh.
Well, one thing, they'll be having a field day down at Woolpack.
Can't believe Mr. Verney'd do a thing like that. It's not his way.
Oh, you've got to face facts, Annie. It's plain what's happened. Mind you, I reckon Frank Blakey acted daft in first place. There's worse things than hunting.
No concern of ours, anyhow.
You mean we've got enough troubles of our own, eh? Oh, well, we won't be short of a pork chop. That's one consolation.
Takes care of the future. That's the main thing. Henry Wilkes knows what he's about. Either Peggy, Joe or Matt will want in the future. Family comes before principles.
Jack's family too?
He takes care of himself.
Hello? 131?
Laura?
Yes?
Jack? I've tried God knows how many times to phone you at Wally's.
I came back 2 days ago.
Why didn't you let me know?
Well, I don't know, Jack. You shouldn't have telephoned me here.
I had to find you somehow. Find out what was up. What you were going to do.
I don't know.
Can you come to the mill?
It's a bit difficult. Have you seen the papers this morning?
I have. I did it. Makes good reading, doesn't it?
You put it in.
Well, I had to do something. A man's home's more important than getting horses shod for hunting foxes.
George had nothing to do with that.
That's a laugh.
No, he didn't. He wouldn't do a thing like that. It'd be beneath him.
You're not going to tell me it was coincidence.
Whatever it was nothing to do with George. He never goes to a company meeting. He wouldn't know what the company's owned. He's just not interested in business.
How's he taking it?
Goodbye.
Who was that?
Just another paper.
I'll have a scotch.
How about a roll? Nice ham
No,
rolls.
thanks, I'm going vegetarian.
Cheese, then.
Just scotch. Large one.
It wasn't Mr. Wilkes.
He was annoyed when I temporised with him over joining the hunt. Well, I was wrong there, I suppose, but he said he wanted to help Blakey. He's the only one who'd know about checking company lists.
It doesn't help to go on and on
Well,
like
see
this.
him. Have it out with him.
Well, you can't go around accusing people. I'll get that. Hello? Oh. No, he's not. No, he's not speaking to anyone. No, I'm sorry. No.
Give it to me. What paper are you? If you telephone me again, I shall sue you. Oh, I'm in an intolerable position. Whatever I say, nobody's going to believe I didn't have a hand in the wretched business. It's almost as if somebody is deliberately trying to discredit me. Well, who else could it be but... Why did you say just now it wasn't Wilkes?
Because it was Jack Sugden. Bet you know sooner than later, and I don't think he'd want someone else to be suspected or accused by you. He's rather honest that way.
Well, how do you know for sure it was him?
It wasn't a reporter on the phone when you came in just now. It was Jack, and he told me then. I didn't mean to lie. He caught me on the hop.
I see.
He's in a queer mood, isn't he?
Trouble with the family, I think.
Not new in that. Not selling many, are you?
I'll give them time.
Aye, well, they need a damp cloth to keep 'em fresh for tonight.
Sugden!
This has nothing to do with my wife. It has to do with my honor, for which I shall be happy to answer in court.